know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I actually wasn't allowed to go anywhere. Even in our bicycles, I could only ride it in the front yard because of the kind of people that was there, prejudiced people. Yeah, it was segregated. Anyway, it didn't make you feel real good, make you feel like you was whooped or you're angry and everything, but then you have to keep that peace. What would Jesus do? 1967, they integrated.
It is much easier to integrate a public park than it is to make genuine quality integrated education a reality. And so today we are struggling for something which says we demand genuine equality.
A lot of the students' parents wrote notes to the teacher to say that they didn't want their student to sit by him.
I almost cried to go back home because there were so many people, and they looked so mean. They looked like they just wanted to grab us and throw us out. They didn't want us at all. I could just see their hate in their heart.
When I became a senior and everything was calmed down, you can kind of talk to white people. At that school during the study hall, and everyone will check out the ladies coming up the steps. Here come this skinny little blonde up the steps.
He noticed me first, and then he wrote me a note and said, "Would you call me?"
When I got home, I called on the phone, and I said, "What, you don't like me? You prejudiced?"
I said, "No." And he said, "You want to go with me?" And I said, "I don't know."
Kept calling, and she finally accepted me. We kind of took off from there. Her parents, of course, hated it, and I hated her sneaking out.
And one time I was like 30 minutes late, and my mom was out looking for me, and when she came in, she walked up to me and she said, "You was with that N," and she slapped me.
But before that, I kept saying, "Man, it's this guy that keeps bugging me. I don't even know him." I didn't know he was her brother.
He was kind of prejudiced and everything, and he's one that called me the N lover and stuff.
And one day we was going up the steps.
He bumped into Sherman.
And enough was enough. And I turned around and hit him.
And it was basically, I got most of it out of family. It was hard. And then my brother, he became a Christian, and it was like overnight. He changed.
He just was a changed man. He saying, "Hey, I know where you're coming from. You guys in love, it's nothing wrong with it." Me being a Christian, I found out I don't have to hate.
When he became a Christian, it was like the sheet was raised off of his eyes. He'd go to prayer meetings, and I wanted what he had. It made me want to be a Christian. It made me want to seek God.
You just have to forgive people. I forgave her brother, and we became friends. I learned that don't let obstacles get in your way, like hatred, racism. Love is going to get you through all of this. Charity, hope, and love. He said the most of these things is love. Hi, friends, and as we pause to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. this weekend.
What does Dr. King's legacy mean to me? And the one thing about his legacy that stands out the most.
When I think of the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, I think
his commitment to the cause. Dr. King was so committed.
Many of his quotes, one that I really resonates with me and my family. He said,
"The time is always right to do what's right.
The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice."
He saw it all the way through to the end, knowing that he wouldn't reach the mountaintop with us. Yet he stayed committed. He was selfless.
Somebody who made an impact globally.
It's an encouraging and a hopeful quote.
Puerto Rico, he traveled to India, traveled to Ghana, traveled to Nigeria.
All the way through to the end, knowing that he wouldn't reach the mountaintop with us. Yet he stayed committed. He was selfless. And so if I feel like if we can commit to anything in our life in that way, then we're honoring Dr. King's legacy.
Globally, for me and my family, even though they weren't experiencing the racism and segregation that people were experiencing here in the United States, my parents and my grandparents were seeing it or hearing it on the news, and they're hearing about what Dr. King did, and he made a difference.
There is proximate justice, or little j justice, on this side of heaven, and we will ultimately see capital J justice when Jesus returns. And that is certainly encouraging to my heart and to my family. Thank you.